Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope all is well with each and every last one of you. We're going to come in and we're going to check into a government message on today. We're going to see what it is Spirit would like to share, what Spirit would like for us to know. Now this could be something present, future, past, potential. But however, we're gonna see which way this message goes. This is another one of the type messages I never posted on this page, just in case I do end up posting it on this particular page. I want to put that out there because I know certain pages I never posted the government messages on. All right, we have quite a few cards here. All right, so I'm not gonna put them in no particular order. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about these as we go. I'm gonna use one for an overview of what we're gonna be looking at. The other deck is gonna be the actual message surrounding whatever the overall card would tell us. Okay, that's how we're gonna pretty much kind of move through this. We only have 7 cards, look like. So again, we're gonna start here from this deck. We're gonna get a general overview, and once we get us a general overview, we're gonna talk about it. Okay. All right. First one we have is the Air Force. The first one we have is the Air Force. I see some of these cards. I'm glad I caught it. But the first one we have is Air Force. Give me just a moment just to do a quick shuffle, please. Alright, we're going to see what's going on with the Air Force. Alright, so that's the first one we got. So again, we're going to start here, and then we're going to get into the message. Alright, what's going on with the Air Force? I'm actually going to take this card. We have pride. Alright, so something about pride when it comes to the Air Force. Okay, now let's read the actual card with pride. It says, true worth is measured by character, not accolades. Alright, true character, okay, is measured by character, not accolades. Alright, so what's going on with Air Force? We see pride is there. Okay, so it's talking about somebody's true character. Okay, maybe somebody in the Air Force, maybe I'm picking up on somebody's energy to the point where it can go either way. Whether, because it's 2 sides of pride. Alright, so let's talk about it. So let's see what side of this pride is going. Is it about your true character, or is somebody just out to get some form of accolades? Alright, now the card we have, we do see some. Oh, I hate this. That's why I like to have my cards all going the same directions. This one actually coming in reverse. So with the Knight of Pentacles there, let me make sure this needs to be in the reverse. So Spirit, do this card, this Knight. We're talking about the Air Force, talking about pride. But I was given a Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles actually coming in the reverse. Is that correct? Okay. So I'm going to say it's supposed to be in the reverse. So some of these are in the reverse. So Spirit, let's one more clarifying, y'all, before I move on. So with this deck, Spirit, do the cards need to stay as is? Okay, we're gonna keep them as is. All right, and maybe Spirit will control the flow of it as we go. So with that Nine of Pentacles coming out there, that more so talk about the accolade side, in my opinion, because this talks about somebody being consistent, having a routine with something, trying to aim towards building something or something like that. But with it coming in reverse, that's like is more so like some type of hindrance going on. Okay, so let's look at an actual Knight of Pentacles. Okay, it depending on if they take this video on this particular page, I'll put it there, but if not, it is what it is. I'm going to continue to flow with this message though. Okay, now with this card coming in the reverse, because I usually don't get too many reversals, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, all right. So with this being in the reverse, it indicates what? Stagnation, burnout, and a lack of momentum. Okay, so this is connected with the Air Force. So it is and the card was talking about pride, right? So I more so would look at this more so potentially as that, like I said, accolades. All right. Now my question is somebody was trying to cause this to somebody, or is this an actual individual that's connected to the Air Force? So which way is the, because we see it's about pride, we see it has a lot to do with burnout, stagnation, again kind of holding something back. So which way now? Who's doing this? We got the Magician. All right, we got the Magician. So with the Magician coming right there, following this stagnation, burnout, and lack of momentum, the Magician is saying something on a more uplifting side. All right. Now this talks about being your authentic self. Okay. It also can talk about utilizing what you have, right? And that also can even go into talking about your creativity. It can talk about your sense of empowerment. It can talk about you mastering yourself. Okay. So I more so figured that it was somebody connected to the Air Force was trying to really hold somebody back, trying to block somebody. That's really what my spirit more so telling me. Okay, because we have the Magician card there. All right. Anything final you want to share with this Air Force? We have a Four of Cups. Now, Four of Cups can be somebody could be contemplating about something. Again, lining back in with whatever somebody was trying to do when it comes to that Knight of the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. All right. It also talks about boredom. Somebody getting bored of something. Okay. All right. It also can talk about somebody being looked over, they being left out. It even can talk about being demoted. Okay. So it's multiple things there. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave that where it's at, because I think whoever that is, we pretty much see what's going on with the Air Force. And actually, that's a confirmation, because I already did reading once before. I was picking up somebody who's connected with the Air Force, had that same mind mentality. But I see after all these many months, somebody's mind never changed. Okay, all right. Social Security Administration. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. We got illusions. All right. It says seek reality, even if it's raw and challenging. Okay. So it says to seek reality. All right, even if it's raw and challenging. So we're talking about the Social Security Administration. All right. So we have the card that's saying what? Illusions. All right. So for this to be illusions coming out with Social Security Administration, and it says to seek reality, even if it's raw and challenging. So somebody could have lied to somebody about something when it came to Social Security Administration. All right, maybe they planted some type of illusion around somebody. Okay, I can see that very, very clearly. So let's see which way this really going with the illusions coming out here, and we're talking about Social Security Administration. So why illusions is coming out here? Okay, we got the Hierophant. The Hierophant actually coming in the reverse. So if a Hierophant coming in the reverse, that tells me, for one, somebody misusing their authority. So somebody connected to the Social Security Administration could have put out some type of illusion about some type of information where they misused their authority. All right? Tell me more. I'm going to go with this one. And then you got the Strength card in the reverse. Then this person didn't have no courage, okay, or strength to be honest about something. All right. So now let's back up a minute. Let's go to the Hierophant real quick. So a Hierophant in the reverse, it talks about a break from tradition. It talks about challenging the status quo and forging your own path. All right. Again, somebody could have put up some illusions about something. All right. I'm still picking that up, even from what I just read. All right. It also it says, instead of blindly following established rules or dogmatic beliefs, you are encouraged to embrace an unconventional, individualized approach and trust your own inner wisdom. Okay? So somebody planted an illusion over something, okay? And then you got here the Strength card. The Strength card even coming in the reverse tells me somebody didn't even have the strength to even tell the truth about something, or they didn't have the courage to tell the truth about something, okay? Now the Strength in the reverse, it says depleted resilience, okay? Depleted resilience, like you given up, gave up. Talks about the self-doubt or a loss of emotional control. All right. So give me one final clarifier when it comes to the Social Security Administration. I'm actually going to take this. We even got the Page of Wands in the reverse. Somebody probably didn't even get no type of communication about something. Somebody either didn't get some type of information about something. All right. So not only did somebody put up some type of illusion about something, somebody also did not present some type of information either. Page of Wands coming in the reverse. All right. Now we got military, but we have reserve. Now, only thing we talked about was the Air Force. We know that Air Force is a branch of the military. So So whoever this is in the Air Force, for one, they could be potentially also in the reserve. But tell me, instead of me pulling anything there, why is military reserve there? Alright, we got the Six of Cups. Now the Six of Cups, they can talk about nostalgia. Alright, now that could be how whoever that is, okay, this could line in with whoever that is connected to the Air Force. They could be going through some form of nostalgia. It also can talk about the past, alright. It also can talk about, so this could have been something that was done, alright. But however, maybe they are having some type of nostalgia at the moment. Because even the Four of Cups let me know it's something pertaining to the feelings, alright? Okay. Or they could be remembering something, okay? Maybe this person gonna end up eventually, whoever they are, they're gonna end up having the strength and courage, okay? Unlike the strength and courage somebody had with the Social Security Administration. But whoever this other person is connected to the Air Force might have some courage to even come and talk to you face to face. Alright. Then we got a federal agency out here. Now, I think the Social Security Administration is a federal agency, if I'm not mistaken. Alright? So we just again gonna pull from the deck. Why is a federal agency out here? We got one to pop up. We got a Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords coming in the reverse, but we got the Emperor showing up in the upright. So with that tells me with the Queen of Swords, somebody could have been like trying to have been off maybe an emperor or somebody didn't have no clarity about something, okay? They again is also can line in with the misuse of authority, okay? Again, kind of like what we just picked up with the Social Security Administration, right? And again, going back to a message I did once before about the Social Security Administration. If I'm not mistaken, it was also a Queen of Swords who was doing something within that facility, okay? And the Emperor could be an individual, or Emperor can be lining in with this federal agency. But we got an Emperor out here, okay? Then we got the U.S. Marshal. Now we'll go back now to our clarifiers. We have the U.S. Marshal here. What is it about the U.S. Marshal? Alright, the card that fall out was neglect. And then the other card that I had my hand on was deceit. So when it comes to the U.S. Marshal, we have not only neglect, we have deceit. The neglect card says, lead to your inner garden and it will flourish. And the deceit, it says honesty is the bridge to authentic connections. Alright? So we got neglect and this deceit coming from the U.S. Marshals. So tell me, why is this neglect and deceit coming from the U.S. Marshal? You have the High Priestess. High Priestess actually coming in the reverse. So this here also tells me with the High Priestess coming in the reverse, that tells me for one, this could have been somebody also just like the person I read about with the Social Security Administration, could be on the dark side as well. Now what else is the High Priest in reverse is saying? Give me a moment. So the High Priest is reverse. It says it indicate a what? Disconnection from intuition. So somebody from the U.S. Marshal could have, whether they was trying to do that or they don't cross paths across somebody who's disconnected from their intuition, okay? Instead of trusting your gut, You may be relying too heavily on logic and external options. Okay? All right. So tell me more about this high priestess showing in the reverse. You have the death card. The death card is even coming in the reverse. So with the death card coming in the reverse, let's see what that is going to say to us. It tells me something may not be an end of a cycle for one thing. It signifies intent and intense resistance to change, fear of moving forward, or stagnation. So y'all see how it seems like all these individuals somewhere to a certain degree kind of working together here. Because a lot of the cards that we're seeing is still saying some of the same things, although it's different situations. But everything that we have crossed right so far is kind of still kind of staying in that same umbrella. Okay? All right? Not only with the actual entities, but also with what the cards is saying about what's going on with these individuals connected to these entities. All right. So let's pick up these cards here in case we need them. So give me just a second. So if I have to use these a little bit with anything else here, we'll have the cards in my hand. Okay. All right. All right. Next we got Congress. All right. So let's see what's going on with Congress. Tell me about Congress. All right. With Congress, you got trauma. You got trauma coming out with Congress. It says your stars are proof of resilience and survival. All right. So maybe all these stumbling blocks was kind of put in your way just for you to potentially be in a state of trauma. But instead, I'm picking up, even I picked it up with the death coming in the reverse, to the point that what was sent out to take you down is going back to these individuals that tried to bring you down. Okay? Let's talk about this Congress. Trauma. Okay. We had a card to pop out. So with the card to pop out, we see here, yeah. So with the Eight of Wands coming in the reverse, that tells me could be a lack of communication going on. All right. Something is not moving forward. All right, as well here when it comes um, with Congress. Some is more so like with that page of Pentacles coming in the reverse. Now this page of Pentacles here, that more so tells me maybe it was some things they was trying to do. It ain't gonna work. All right, it ain't gonna work. So let's look at somebody may not even travel somewhere, may not be no travels. The momentum of something that slowed down as well. Okay, so now let's look at this page of Pentacles in the reverse. So a page of Pentacles in the reverse, it typically means a lack of focus and block what? Financial opportunities. So they could have been trying to block something, and we already see, even if it has something to do with the Social Security Administration. Because that right there is kind of more so like the only place I see when it comes on here that has anything to do with finances. And somebody put up illusion with that. Not only did they put up illusions, it wasn't no communication. Somebody didn't send somebody no information. Even here with the Congress, we see it wasn't no communication. 8 of Wands coming in a reverse. Alright, the final one we got Office of Personnel Management. Office of Personnel Management. I'm actually going to take that. And you got attachment. Something dealing with attachment. Office of Personnel Management. And it says, true growth requires letting go. So they're going to have to let something go. Because it says what? True growth. You did it naturally. You didn't utilize no magic. You didn't utilize no dark arts. You ain't tried to sit up here and hurt, harm, destroy, take nothing from nobody. You did it with your true self. Tell me about this attachment. And with the attachment, there go what? A Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords talks about what? Taking action. Something moving speedily. It also talks about having some mental clarity. Alright? And it also can talk about other things, but I'm not picking that up. Let's see what else we could pick up on a Knight of Swords. Other things a Knight of Swords talks about. This is a very driven card, alright? Means something, but somebody was very driven, alright? It also represents what? The element of air, okay? It symbolizes what? Pure intellect, alright? Rapid actions. And it also talks about bold communications. That's the only one been doing in the communications. It says bold communications. So we ain't see no communication when it comes from the Congress. We ain't see no communication when it comes from the Social Security Administration. Okay? Tell me now about this here Knight of Swords. And there you go, there with the Hermit. The Hermit actually coming in the reverse. So that tells me, for one, somebody's coming up out of something, lining up with what this card said. What? It says, true growth requires what? Letting go. Alright? And that letting go is a good significant of the Hermit coming in the reverse. Alright? Give me one closing. And then we want to speak to Spirit. And then you have the 10 of Wands there. Alright? Now, Spirit, I wasn't expecting this message I got today, but however, it seemed like everything had a good flow to it. Now, we see here my first question, and I don't care about sharing it. I really don't care about sharing nothing no more. Okay? First question I want to know, do this message have anything to do with me? And it does. Alright. Now, with this communication with the illusions, is this something I need to know about the Social Security Administration that relates to me? Yes. This Airforce, we already know whoever that was had some type of issues with me anyway. And Spirit is still saying yes. U.S. Marshal, they've been coming up in my readings too. So, is the U.S. Marshal got anything to do with this? So is the U.S. Marshal looking into something? So with the deceit and the neglect, do that, when y'all see the deceit card, y'all, when I just look down the deceit card, all of a sudden I'm turned to the reverse. And my question was just really going to be just this question. So with the deceit and the neglect, did the U.S. Marshal neglect me? Yes, they did. With the deceit, did they feel I was deceitful? Yes, they did. That's probably why the card done all of a sudden flipped in the reverse. I ain't got the lie, just pick it up. There it go. Deceit is in the reverse. I ain't deceived nobody. But at the same time, I know this people in this country done did some stuff to me. Now, with the Congress got anything to do with me? Of all peoples. Spirit say yeah. Okay. Was anybody on this table supposed to be supplying me with some type of information? Somebody was supposed to give me some information. So, was it the Social Security Administration supposed to give me some information? Was it somebody, whoever this person is, a part of this Airforce? Was that person supposed to, okay, that person wasn't supposed to give me none. The military reserve, is that person the same person that's a part of this Airforce? And it is. Okay, this federal agency, is the federal agency got anything to do with the Social Security Administration? No, it don't. So we're going to come back and look into that federal agency. The U.S. Marshal, is the U.S. Marshal got anything to do with this federal agency? No. Now, was the U.S. Marshal supposed to communicate something with me? No. Okay. Well, in the Congress, I think I asked, but I'm asking again, was the Congress supposed, somebody from the Congress supposed to reach out and told me something? Somebody from Congress supposed to reach out and told me something. All right. And then we got here this Office of Personnel Management. So here we see attachment. Is it something that the Office of Personnel Management got that belongs to me, or is some information they need to give to me? Spirit saying yeah about that too. Now, with this attachment, is the attachment got something to do with me? The attachment ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay, this Knight of Swords coming out here. The Knight of Swords got anything to do with me? The Knight of Swords got something to do with me. Now, with the Knight of Swords coming out there, what about the Hermit? Do the Hermit got anything to do with me? The Hermit got something to do with me. So, if the Hermit got something to do with me, did somebody provide some type of false information when it came to me for the Hermit to be coming in the reverse? Yes, somebody did. False information. Now that Ten of Wands out here, which way is that Ten of Wands? That Ten of Wands ain't got nothing to do with me. So do that Ten of Wands got anything to do with that attachment there? It got something to do with that attachment. So United States, if anything wrong with this message, okay, want somebody to reach out and speak out and tell me what's what, okay? Because I got more than enough information for me to be picking up a lot of these messages, and more, a lot of the things I've been saying been coming true. So it's something somewhere. Now let's talk about this federal agency, and then we're going to close this out, and we're going to come back and do one more. Now tell me now about this federal agency. Tell me something about this federal agency, because it seemed like the federal agency is the only thing I didn't confirm and even ask. Before we go back one more time, do the federal agency got anything to do with this Office of Personnel Management? No. Okay. Now tell me about this federal agency. With that federal agency, you got ego. Ego actually coming in a reverse. So that tells me potentially somebody ego or something about ego change when it comes to this federal agency. Because ego is coming in the reverse. Alright? And the ego card, it says, beyond the facade of ego lies the depth of what? True character. A lot of things about your character being true, right? It was a lot going on about true. And my whole theory, my whole reason for starting up any type of platform was what? To speak the truth that the spirit was telling me. Okay, alright. So tell me why ego is coming in the reverse with this here federal agency. You got the devil card. So the devil finally done changed. He ain't got no ego no more, the way I see it. So with this here federal agency, we actually see here the devil. My question is it something connected to me when it comes to whatever going on with this federal agency and the reason why this devil is here? So this here is kind of telling me somebody in the government system. Spirit say no. So that ain't the question. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with another way then. They cut me off before I even asked. So with the devil card coming here, the United States owe me something. This country owe me something. So whatever this country owe me, is it belong to me from the federal side? Do it belong to me from a local side? From a local side. So when I'm looking at this devil card with this federal agency, how would you see this card, Spirit? Will you see it as a positive? They will see it as a positive. Is it a positive for my betterment? Is it a positive for somebody else's betterment? No. Do this have anything to do with a contract? Do it have something to do with something on dealing with any form of paperwork? It's not no contract, but it got something to do with some form of contract. Well, it don't have nothing to do with a contract, Spirit say, but it got something to do with some paperwork. So out of all these departments, Can you give me a little bit more information on why this, a little bit more clarity with this devil card? Alright. So it ain't got nothing to do with no contract. All praises to that. But it do got something to do with some paperwork. So can you tell me a little bit more about the paperwork? What is it about paperwork? And it is about some paperwork. It's about some paperwork. That's 3 of Pentacles. Can you tell me what this paperwork is all about? Can you tell me what this paperwork is all about? Just trying to calm down a little bit. I want to know what this paperwork is all about, if you can share. So what is this card saying in the reverse? So what is this saying in the reverse? It's saying the worst is finally over. I died. I received that. Because most High daughter done been through some hell. Do you hear me? The most High daughter done been through hell. It says the worst is finally over. Profound healing, recovery, and moving past a devastating loss or betrayal. Is that what this done with, Spirit? So my last most important question. I just got to know, Father, did somebody really do this, put me in this situation? Somebody did put me in this situation. Did they put me in this situation though with did they have good intentions for putting me in this situation? They had good intentions, Spirit say. So whoever this is connected to the Airforce, did they do this? They didn't do this. Did somebody who is a part of the Marshal service, did they do this? Did they do this? No. So did somebody who was a part of the Congress do this to me? Somebody in Congress potentially did this to me. But the Office of Personnel Management know about this. This federal agency, they know about this. The Congress, do they know about this? Social Security Administration, do they know about this? This individual that's in the Airforce, do they know about this? And last but not least, do the U.S. Marshal know about this? And are there also others that know about this? So, Spirit, what is the time on this reading? What is the time limit? Right now we're currently in July. And I know that I'm reading this message from a spiritual place. But is this something also in the present? This is a part of the present. Is this a part of the present time? So, even though we see there haven't been no communication from any of these peoples, will somebody communicate with me eventually? Somebody eventually gonna communicate. Today is July the 14th. So, will I hear from anybody before this month ends? Will I hear from somebody around the month of August? Maybe around the month of August, I hear from somebody. Is that a definitely? I hear from somebody around next month. So, I know this message is a little lengthy, but when Spirit give me kind of like a airway to try to put some more pieces to this puzzle together, I try to gain as much information as I can. So I'm going to come back next with a situation message. And I'll talk to you in a bit.